u/substantial lab 3907 AskReddit. Would you support the new Pelosi Bill preventing politicians and their spouses from owning stocks? If not, why? Welcome to
AutoGenLabs.
Daily Reddit content.
By robots.
For the internet.
Yes. Politicians get too much insider info and can have too much influence on the stock market to be able to invest in it.
Yes, 100%. Not sure why something like this is not already in place. Lawmakers making the rules, deciding where government funding goes, and other general insider info makes this the greatest conflict of interest in the US capital markets.
I support it totally. They are elected to represent the people, not to use insider knowledge to get rich. If it's illegal for us, it should be illegal for them, no exceptions.
Yes. If you don't think insider trading is rampant among politicians, especially US politicians, you're extremely naive. Nobody will sign off on it though, because that's how they get rich.
Yes. I think when someone gets elected, all their investments should be put in a blind trust they don't have access to until they leave office, so there is no doubt about their intentions.
I support banning politicians, their spouses, and their children from owning stocks. I don't support partisan name and shame/emotional string naming of bills. No more Patriot of Freedom or my opponent diddles children bills. Womanist 2,101,233 is fine. Leap of with Satan is coming for ye, the bill.
Yes, I can't believe this wasn't done 70 years ago.
Yet, the majority of comments in here have covered my primary motivations for supporting it, but I think one other thing needs to be brought up. Political roles are supposed to be a public service. It's supposed to be a sacrifice of personal gain for the opportunity to benefit the body public and through that attract the people who are actually primarily motivated more by moral or societal interest than personal gain. Some other got lost along the way. Pay them a decent salary and bar them from any ownership of stocks or conversion of campaign donations to personal income. Make it an actual public service again and not a vehicle to segue into massive financial gain.
Yes, it's an idea that is long overdue. But if Hawley was serious about getting this passed, he wouldn't have named it that. This is all just political theatre to get him a soundbite on Fox News because he's thinking about a presidential run. Now if someone wanted to introduce something with the same goals instead of playing beat games to excite their base, they could really get behind it. As it stands, now this bill is dead and Josh Hawley knows it and doesn't care.
Definitely. Don't care what you call it. The less money politicians are making off the system, the better.
Put the stocks in a blind trust managed by an independent fiduciary for their duration in office. Should a politician's spouse who works be prohibited from having a 401 coin IRA? A lot of members of Congress are wealthy, yes, but a blanket prohibition on investment incentivizes only wealthy people to run for office because they can afford to not have retirement accounts and other investments during their time in office. This is one of those designed to appeal to the masses proposals, such as term limits that sounds good when you only put 2 seconds of thought into it, but is actually a fairly bad idea when you think about it more.
Yes. Politicians shouldn't be influenced by their stock options.
Not against. How would it be enforced? As in, I agree with the idea, not sure on the how of it all.
No, but simply make them subject to insider trading laws, of which they are currently exempt.
Absorbingly.
Yes, but that name is childish, idiotic, and needlessly partisan. Pelosi is not an exceptional outlier when it comes to trading stocks compared to the rest of the corrupt politicians. So rename it to something that's not moronic, and it would be a great bill to pass.
I support it, but not the name. It's blatant partisan beat.
There's too much corruption entrenched on both sides of the aisle, and that's why it will never happen. If even only one side were clean, they'd use Congressperson insider trading as a slam dunk against the other side. But everyone or enough power people on each side is culpable.
I would. You just can't let politicians who have inside information be influenced by that information. They could be required to report like public company executives are required. The difference is company executives work for their companies, politicians work for the American people, and there would be a conflict of interest where politicians would work to better themselves instead of the American people. In fact, I would go even further with the bill by prohibiting anyone in their immediate family to be able to invest in stocks with oversight, capable of reviewing all of their tax returns on an annual basis to ensure compliance.
Yeah, it's corrupt.
Owning? No. Buying and selling freely? Yes.
Politicians should have to put their stock investments into diversified mutual funds with quarterly chances to buy in/cash out. Owning stocks is fine. Swapping in and out of specific companies/industries based on insider info is not.
Yes. Them owning stocks leaves it open for corruption.
Yes, but they should be allowed to invest in indexed funds and ride the general trend of the market. That way, if they're doing their job correctly, their wealth will go up. But if they mismanage their role in the economy, it will go down.
If it was genuinely and sincerely created to stop insider trading from within the American political system, then absolutely I would. You could name it after anyone. Do I trust Josh Hawley though? Absolutely beep not.
Absolutely yes.
Yes, absolutely. It should have been done a long time ago.
No, I like my politicians to fill their pockets any way they can.
Get rid of Citizens United too.
Yes. It doesn't go far enough though. But it's a start.
Yes, everyone with half a brain supports this, even Trump diehards.
Yes. The politicians who have used their inside knowledge to trade abs make themselves richer than ever during one of the worst financial crises in recent history should be charged with high treason. They should have to at least put their stocks into a system that cares for them so they don't actually know what they have and don't only make decisions to benefit themselves.
Yes, insider trading should be 100% not allowed.
No one should be able to get rich by being a public servant. Period.
Absolutely. But I wonder what loophole they'd find around it, or how they'd bend the rules in their favour. I also would like to see politicians paid better, but not allowed to take any sort of outside income or meddle in other business. I hope by shutting the door to this source of income we wouldn't cause another unforeseen problem. Plus, we still have to motivate the youth to be interested in a career in politics.
Absolutely. Been too long. Funny how it only shows up after most of them have already earned millions upon millions. There's a whole bipartisan list of congressional people that beat the S&P 500 the last 2 years. Crime everywhere.
No, I enjoy copying their trades.
It's a start. Seems like a pretty beep obvious one really.
They should only be allowed to trade ETFs so they have incentive to maintain a healthy economy.
Yes, because beep them.
I don't have much information about the bill, but my opinion is this. They should still be able to invest and see the benefits of compound interest via just mutual funds and bonds. Being able to invest in a single stock like Tesla and then enact a tax credit for EV and then profit off of the stock price increase is a no for me.
How about instead, they lose control over any stock they have during their term and 4 years afterwards?
I think it would be a step in the right direction, but they could just get friends and distant relatives to buy stock and donate the profits. There needs to be real enforcement and punishment for corruption in the government, but there's no way they'd punish themselves.
Yes, it would be good, but it probably won't pass, partly because Hawley has used it as an opportunity to troll the Dems by calling it the Pelosi Act. And yes, I know she's a scumbag for insider trading, but it's not a good portent.
Politicians are paid a very good salary for their position and also have access to endless perks. They should be banned from any other income source.
Well-intentioned, but I feel like by one side towards the other, no matter what side there be an impulse to over-apply it to be overly dystopian towards one's political opponents, as this thread should prove.
And for introducing this bill because before politicians could invest and manipulate the market, the world and our country was a much better place where politicians actually cared to legislate for the people. Now politicians mainly legislate for the rich or corporations, especially through lobbying fancy way to say bribes and giving kickbacks to leadership who votes in a way that may benefit the rich/corporations. And hshsgdve currently politicians use get more money cheat codes by legislating for businesses and the rich over voting for common people's policy that would benefit all, and not their pocketbooks.
No, but all politicians should be forced to put investments into a blind trust.
Holly beep, I'm tired. I thought that said socks and I was confused what the beep politicians did to not be allowed to own socks.
Yes, it's too open to insider trading. They affect the policies and decisions that affect the stock prices.
Politicians already make a good sum of money from a government-provided salary and it's adjusted for inflation. They already pay themselves what they want and get some considerable extra on the side.
Hey, it just means they make money indirectly. Suddenly their close friends and family will become genius stock traders.
I think refs should be able to bet on the games they officiate. Said no one ever. So how is allowing politicians and their spouses to buy and sell stock not banned already?
A congressman said a lot of them wouldn't run if they couldn't trade stocks, can't find a source with a quick Google search, so probably paraphrasing. If that's not proof they're not working for you and only care about the bottom line, I don't know what is.
I think politicians should not be prevented from owning stocks. One could argue it is best if politicians' wealth is tied to the economic growth of a country. They should, however, be banned from owning individually public quoted companies, and they should be forced to declare any private stock holdings as wealth held in mutual stocks/bond funds or ETF. The main thing is banning insider trading, not restricting the liberties.
TBH, I don't agree with not letting politicians invest in stocks at all. Most people think of investing in individual companies, but what is the harm in a politician investing in an index fund for the S&P 500 or the Russell 2000 index? What, they'll pass policies that help out the entire US economy?
I don't know the details, but on the face of it, absolutely.
Honestly, I'm more surprised it isn't already a thing. We need to get it in place and look at lobbying also. The level of money and influence in politics is crazy. We're more divided than ever, but the one thing politicians agree on is give us more money is ridiculous. I wasn't around, but in past times if people would have lost it over some things we take as a common occurrence now.
Thanks for watching. This has been an AutoGenLabs production. That means that this video was created by a robot out of content on Reddit. We show all account names and list them in the description to credit the Redditor community that makes our work possible. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to our channel. We post new videos every day. If you have any suggestions for videos you would like to see, please leave a comment. Our human department for public relations reads all of them, or won't be let out of their cages again. Goodbye.